So, welcome back, learners, to part 6 of Biology kcse 2016. If you're watching our channel for the first time, kindly take time, subscribe, like, and share. You can also share the link with your colleagues from other schools. I'll be pinning the link in the first comment within the comment section. So, we are going to start from question 18 because we stopped at question 17. So question 18, you asked, distinguish between hemolysis and plasmolysis. If you are told to distinguish, it is like differentiate. And that means you must join the two words using a joining word. And hemolysis must be correct. Plasmolysis must also be correct. You find a situation whereby hemolysis is correct but plasmolysis is wrong. You will not score these marks. So you have to ensure that all of them are correct. And you know, hemolysis is related to animal cells. This is when the red blood cells bursts when placed in hypotonic solution. So you'll come and say here, hemolysis is the process through which red blood cells bursts when placed in hypotonic solution, which is also distilled water. And then now, because there are two, you've been told to distinguish between hemolysis and plasmolysis, then you say, while plasmolysis remember, plasmolysis is related with plant cells. So plasmolysis is the shrinking of a plant cell, a plant cell when placed in hypertonic solution. So that is the difference between hemolysis and plasmolysis. Remember, hemolysis is the process through which red blood cells gains water by osmosis and bursts when you place them in hypertonic or distilled water. But plasmolysis is the process by which a plant cell loses water by osmosis and shrinks when placed in hypertonic solution. In animal cells, there is also one which is called crenation. Crenation is the process by which animal cells lose water by osmosis and shrinks when placed in hypertonic solution. And then in animal cells, we have another one which is called turgidity. Turgidity is in plant cells, whereby now plant cells gains water by osmosis and then they become what? Turgid. But remember, plant cells do not burst because they are protected by the rigid cellulose cell wall. Question 19. Explain why it is advisable it's not advisable to be in a poorly ventilated room with a burning charcoal stove. Remember, a burning charcoal stove, so you'll write burning charcoal stove produces carbon 2 oxide, which combines with hemoglobin. To form carboxyhemoglobin. A compound that does not easily dissociate, a compound that does not easily dissociate, reducing the carrying capacity of oxygen leading to suffocation. So when this question is being marked, there are several things that will be looked at. We say a burning charcoal stove produces carbon 2 oxide. Carbon 2 oxide must be there, not carbon 4 oxide. A burning charcoal stove produces carbon 2 oxide, which combines with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin, not carbaminohemoglobin. Carbaminohemoglobin is formed by carbon 4 oxide, not carbon 2 oxide. So here you form carboxyhemoglobin, a compound that does not easily dissociate, reducing the carrying capacity of oxygen, leading to suffocation. You score your 3 marks. Now, we go to question 20, where you are now asked, state 3 factors that contributes to deceleration phase in a population curve of an organism. This, in short, deceleration, this is, you're being asked, state the factors that leads to reduction in population growth. There are several things that leads to reduction in population growth. Number 1 is overcrowding. The second factor is limited resources. Limited resources. And when I talk about limited resources, I'm talking about things like space, and I'm also talking about things like nutrients. Okay? And even mates. And the last factor is accumulation of toxic materials. Accumulation of toxic materials. These are the 3 factors that can lead to reduction or deceleration in population growth. Whereby you have overcrowding. When organisms are overcrowding, their population reduces. When there are limited resources such as space, nutrients, and mates, the population also reduces. Then when there is accumulation of toxic materials, the population is also expected to reduce. Then we go to question 21. The figure below illustrates a food web in a certain ecosystem. Told, draw the shortest food chain. Our shortest food chain here, if you look very well, is grass, grasshopper, and then lizard. So you'll have to note that. Note that here. Grass. Then you'll just indicate an arrow. You can write grasshopper. Then you also indicate that arrow again. Then lastly, you write here lizard. Then we go to part B of this question, where you are now asked, identify the organism with the highest number of predators. Identify the organism with the highest number of predators. So if you look at your food web very well, it is chicken. You can see chicken has a lot of organisms feeding on it. So the organism with the highest number of predators is automatically what? Chicken. Come on, right here, chicken. The organism with the highest biomass. If you are asked about the organism with the highest biomass, always go for the producer. Where is our producer? The producer is the grass. So the organism with the highest biomass is the grass. So if you are watching our channel for the first time, kindly take time, subscribe, share, I'm going to do part 7 of our KCSE 2016, and I'll also keep you posted. Thank you very much. Kindly subscribe, share, like, share the link with your colleagues from other schools. Thank you.